What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Bourbon of the Week. My name's Chris. I'm going to be your host for today, and I have the Weller lineup for you. We went from most expensive on the secondary market to cheapest on the secondary market. We're going to pour these up blind. We're going to spin them on our whiskey wheel, and we're going to find out who is the king of Weller, because I got to be honest with you, I don't know who's going to win this. So I wanted to do this tonight for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm almost out of my Weller Antique 107. And number two, I'm almost out of my Weller Antique single barrel. The single barrel will definitely be hard to find another one of. The Weller Antique 107 I can usually find. I already have a backup of my special reserve. That, and I also been talking a lot about secondary recently on the channel, and I want to know if these live up to the secondary value. So I'm assuming things are going to go one of two ways. It's going to go in the order I think that they should go in, which I'll tell you about in a minute, or it's going to go the order that the secondary value sets for these. So right now this is going for about $550 on the secondary. I think this is going for about $400 on the secondary. This one's going for about maybe $250 on the secondary. We're down to $150 to $170 when it comes to the 12 year. I think this is going for like $100 right now on secondary. If you find them on the secondary, again, I think they're pretty easy to find otherwise. And then the special reserve, I don't really think has a secondary market. They sell for about what, 35 to 40 bucks regularly MSRP. So maybe people are selling these for 50 if they can't get their hands on them. That being said, we've got 6 whiskeys to drink tonight, so I went just under our pour line with our Great Whiskey Challenge kit. If you don't know about Great Whiskey Challenge, check them out. Basically, they have these tags, they have the glasses, they have a bunch of note cards and winner podiums and stuff too that I don't use too often, but I love the glasses. They have letters underneath that correspond with the tags. Once you mix up the glasses either on your own or somebody mixes them up for you, you don't know which one's which, and then you drink it, you flip it over, and you find the corresponding tag to which one was your favorite. This takes all the bias out of it. We're not going to know which one's which, although we're going to make some guesses along the way. We have our whiskey wisdom wheel here. We're going to put these on here. We're going to mix these up so we don't know which one's which. Then I'll tell you the order I think these are going to end up in. Then we'll drink them. We'll do it blind and we'll find out which order they actually end up in. Time to spin them up. Some of you might be wondering, why do I do this? If I'm already spinning the wheel, why do I do it? It has a whiskey wisdom glass in the middle and says wisdom. I've had people legitimately tell me, oh, you put that one at the bottom, so you knew that was a particular bottle. I don't want any of that to be in question, so I spin it, I mix them up, I spin it again, so I have literally no clue which one's which. Plus, I have like the memory of a goldfish, so I couldn't even guess if I tried. That should be good enough. So I've actually been thinking about this for a long time, since I came up with the idea of doing this blind. Which one of these am I going to like in which particular order? Now, this right now is in secondary value order, but I don't think that I would put it in that order. I think these two are going to be close as my number one. I just did a video on the craft your own bourbon. You can watch it above, but I think it's going to be the foolproof that ends up winning. And then the second bottle that I'm going to choose is the single barrel. From there, I think Antique 107 is actually going to come in third over Craft Your Own Bourbon. I'm going to go Antique 107, then Craft Your Own Bourbon. Then, I mean, Weller 12 is just not my cup of tea, or not my cup of whiskey, I should say. So I think that's going to beat out the Special Reserve, but it's kind of got to, right? So I think it's going to go Weller 12 and then Special Reserve. So again, I think it's going to go foolproof, single barrel. Then it's going to go Antique 107, Craft Your Own Bourbon, then Weller 12, then Special Reserve, but there's only one way to figure it out, and that's to try them all right now. We're going to start with this glass over here. Let's do it. Time for the traditional sip. That one's not that good. We didn't even talk about proofs yet, so let's go through the proof. The Weller single barrel is coming in at 97 proof. The Craft Your Own Bourbon is coming in at 95 proof. The Weller full proof comes in at 114 proof. The Weller 12 year comes in at 90 proof. The Weller Antique 107 also comes in, oh no, sorry, that's 107 proof. The Weller Special Reserve also comes in at 90 proof. Sorry, I was already thinking about the next bottle. That one came off hot, didn't love it off the rip, but first glass of whiskey for the night. Let's get into glass number 2. Cheers. See, that one I like slightly better. That one also came off a little bit hot. We're talking from 90 proof all the way up to 114 proof with 107 and 95. So we've got it spaced out all over the place. I don't know by the end of this if I'll be able to pick out like a 90 from a 95, but I'm hoping I can pick out those higher proofs, at least one of them, you know? Ooh, this one off the nose already smells better than the first two. This one came off a little bit smoother, a little bit of a honey note on that, which I didn't pick up on the first two. I felt like one of these have a cherry note. Now that I like drank this one, it brought out one of the cherry notes in one of these two. We'll go back and see if we can pick that up again. But this one had more of a honey note, a little bit more of that viscosity, a little bit more density when it came to the flavor profile, but not very complex either. Let's keep going with this. Ooh. Now we're getting into it. This one, dense, definitely like an oak presence on this. There is a cherry bomb on this one. I like this one so far. I mean, substantially better than the three of these. This one I didn't love. These two were decent, but now we're getting into some good whiskey right here. I wonder which one that one is. It didn't seem overly ethanol-y either, so I don't think it's the foolproof, but that maybe that's the single barrel. Maybe that's definitely not the Weller 12. The Weller 12 I feel like I should be able to pick out because I absolutely did not love it, but that being said, let's find out what's next. This one is quiet. The flavors are very, very hard to find. They're not really predominant in this glass, but the ones that are there are very good. It's very easy to drink, very smooth. I almost feel like that's going to be the Weller Special Reserve. It just seems very traditional, watered down bourbon. There's nothing off-putting about it, but at the end of the day, there's nothing crazy special about it. But coming off of this one, it's always hard to tell. Was like this the 114 proof? And then this could be anywhere from 90 all the way up to 107 proof. And you might be able to say, coming off of a glass that's so high in proof, you might think to yourself, oh, that's a lot lower than the last glass, so it's got to be 90 or 95 proof. But you never know. It could throw you off. Ooh. And we're right back with something special again on this glass. These two glasses right now are like the shining stars of the group. The other four, some are good, some aren't great, but at the end of the day, these two definitely stand out as my two favorite the first time through. So I kind of want to leave, because I don't have a lot, so I kind of want to leave these until I can start comparing them to something that I think might live up to what these two have in the first round. So let's go back through one more time and skip these two and see what we can pull out of these four. Okay, this is a lot easier to drink the second time around. Must have been that first sip of alcohol for the night. This one wasn't the cherry note. This one had the honey on it, and this one almost feels like I have there's not a lot of oak on the end, but there's definitely a little bit of an oak presence, but I feel like I get almond on this one. Is that weird? I ate almonds just the other day. We get those little, I forget what the company is that makes them, but it's like almonds on one side and then with like dried cranberries and then cheese on the other. So I've been eating almonds recently, and I feel like I pick up an almond note on that, which is kind of weird. I didn't get that the first time. No, not really a cherry note on that either. I don't know what I was picking up. This one seems more, I don't want to use fruity. So there's more fruit on this. I was going to say floral, but I think that was just coming off the almond. This is more fruity than the first one, and I think more fruity than anything I picked up over here. It does seem to have a strong sweetness when it comes to that fruit note, but it's not overpowering with the ethanol either, the way I got it the first time around. These two, again, aren't bad. I don't know which one I like better. I'll tell you if I think any of these are bad. I've specifically said that Weller 12 is bad, so I'm kind of hoping that that's not one of our winners here, because I've been talking crap on that bottle for a very long time. But this is why we do blinds, folks. That one's floral. So that one's fruity. This one's floral. This does have that honey note to it. This one has almonds. These two are delicious. What's going on here? What was this glass? There's some nice baking spices in on this, and I gotta tell you, I've done blinds like this before, and people are like, that's not the only flavor profile you're getting. I'm trying to distinguish the flavor profile, so they're all gonna have their vanillas, their caramels. I'll tell you if any of those stand out, but I'm telling you what basically gets pulled out of this glass that's different than everything else in front of me. So while this might have some oak and some caramels and some vanillas on it, absolutely, this is going to stand out with the honey. This is going to stand out with the, what did I say on this one over here? Almond. That one stands out with the almond. This one has the like baking spices that are really standing out to me, which is always weird for me to get. I know wheated bourbons can obviously have that, but I usually get that traditionally. Maybe like a cinnamon. Is it like a sweet baking spice? That might have like a cinnamon note on it. These four are very, very close, actually. I thought I'd be able to pick out at least one that I could move forward and say, like, I like this one the best out of these four. They're all offering me something good, but I don't think any of these are, like, great. I really hope none of these are the single barrel or the foolproof, because those have been my favorite. So, I don't know. Keep going, I guess. 1 and 2 so far, I haven't revisited these. This might be my number 3. These 3 aren't doing anything special for me, so let's go back through, because I have a bunch of whiskey up here. I don't have a lot back here, and then we'll kind of put these in an order. I always do these videos for so much longer than I need to do them, because I usually have a pretty good idea, and then I just start rambling to you guys, because what's going on in my head is just, the gears are spinning. Do I like this? Do I like that? What is that flavor profile? What is that ethanol kick? And then I try and regurgitate that information to you guys in a way that doesn't help you guys distinguish which one of these is which. See, this one is just, I mean, phenomenal. See, that's another good one. This one's fantastic. This one's fantastic. These 2 are going to be tough to... This is not better than these by any means, but I do think it's better than these 3. So these 3 are going to be my top 3 bunch. These 3 are going to be my bottom 3 bunch. Let's see which order we want to put these 3 in at the bottom 3. Okay, this one. This one is number 4. This one is number 4. This is number 5, and this is, I think this is my last place. And we'll go through one more time at the very end just to make sure on all of this. But this one's really good, actually. These 2 might jump. This might jump this one. So let's find out about that. These 2 are definitely number 1 and number 2. These are definitely number 3 and number 4. And that's number 5, and I think that's number 6. But let's go through one more time on these 2. This is going to jump this. So 1 and 2 battling. This is going to be number 3. Where was this? I don't know. This is going to be number 3. This is going to be number 4. This is going to... No, sorry. This is going to be number 4, 5, and 6. So that's how we're going to put it for now. Boom, boom, boom. Let's figure out which of these 2 we like better. This is the important one. Big kick on this, for sure, when it comes to the ethanol. Won't bother me if it's 114 proof. Might bother me if it's 95 proof. That's kind of where I'm at on it. So this is the downfall of doing blinds. If this is 114 proof, fine. We're good with the ethanol kick on this. If this is 90 proof, not okay. See, that's not okay. But I can't imagine with the flavor profile behind this, the amount of the flavors that I'm getting, that this is anything less than 107 proof. Which means we're at Weller Antique 107 on this. This one, though. This one right here. Well balanced, fruity, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of spice in the middle, and then the oak on the end. It's like a sweet oak that brings it all together, and the finish is forever. I think that's going to be our number 1 glass right here. I can't imagine a world where this isn't the 114 proof and this isn't the 107 proof. Now, we have 97 proof, but then we're down to 90s and 95 proofs on the rest of these. I just don't imagine that my palate is discerning a 114 proof versus a 90 proof and confusing them in any way. These 2 maybe, but the rest of these have to be 95, 97, 90. It's just kind of too close to call when you get into that realm. I've talked about that before. Like anything under 100 proof, I'm terrible when it comes to the blinds. I could tell you it's 80 proof. I could tell you it's 105 proof. I just don't know. But once you cross over that 100 proof barrier, I feel like I get a little bit better at honing in on, okay, that's 112, that's 117, that's 120 versus, hey, it's 90 proof. Again, I could tell you that's 82 proof. I just don't know. This one is going to be number 1. This one is going to be number 2. We already did this back here. I'm just going to go one more time, and then we're going to call it because this video is already way too long, and I've been drinking too much, to be quite honest. Yeah, for sure. This one, again, I like the almond on this. This one has just a little bit too much ethanol for me for what I think that it is. It just kind of hits the palate. It burns a little bit. Doesn't give me too much flavor profile. So that's where I'm going to put these in this particular order. First place, second place, third place, fourth place, fifth place, sixth place, which works out perfectly. But let's find out which one is which and who is king of the Weller. Now listen, if you've made it this far in this video, what I want you to do is pause right now, go in the comment section below and let me know which order you would put these in if you've had all 6 of these. If you haven't had all 6, let me know the ones that you have had and which order you would put those particular Wellers in. But we're going to find out who came in 6th place. Sorry, I don't have William LaRue Weller or Millennium or who else are we? Daniel Weller. Can't really afford those on my budget. But let's find out what number 6 was. Cheers, y'all. And the answer is, God, I'm so scared of this outcome. Folks, it was A. That was the single barrel. Single barrel came in last place. I did not expect that at all. I put that in 2nd place before I came up with this. And that's the number 1 when it comes to the secondary market, in last place here in our blind. That leaves a lot to the imagination on what could come next. Again, I thought maybe that was 4th after I did all of this, but I did not expect it to be in last place. That's, again, folks, that's A right there. So let's find out what came in 2nd to last. I don't even know anymore. We're just going straight in order here. C.Y.P.B, which, to be fair, I didn't love C.Y.P.B. I think it's kind of, it's like a gimmick, craft your own bourbon. They said they put out this, you can watch the video again. I already put it above earlier. Go watch that video and I'll tell you all my opinions on C.Y.P.B. I didn't love it, especially for the hype, but I did also not expect for it to come in 5th out of 6th in this particular lineup. If Weller 12 year is the next, we've got a problem on our hands. But folks, let's find out who came in 4th place. This better be Weller 12. This is the one I thought, by the way, was Special Reserve. I'm pretty sure. And the answer is F. A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, at least I called that correctly. This is a very good whiskey. I think for $40, this I'm going to do another, we haven't done it for a very long time because we haven't had a lot of new whiskey in the $30 to $40 range come out on the market. But Weller Special Reserve for $40, for $35, absolutely a buy. Everybody can hate on it all they want because it's a Weller product and, oh, it's too hard to find. It's not that hard to find. Guys, I have this bottle. I have a backup bottle. Just put some feelers out there. Talk to some people. You can find that bottle. That is a very good bottle of whiskey for what it is. And that's all it's trying to be what it is. Which means, what do we have left? Weller Antique 107, Weller Foolproof, and Weller 12 year. Guys, if Weller 12 year ends up winning this, I might never make a video again. Let's find out who came in 3rd place. God, I am so scared. What letter was this? D. Please be D. Okay, it's D. Weller 12 in 3rd place, which is a much better spot than I thought it was going to be. I did not think it was going to be the single barrel. C.Y.P.B, I was kind of back and forth on which one would win that in my head because, again, I didn't love the C.Y.P.B, but I kind of hate on Weller 12 year all the time, which means we're right up there. Weller Antique 107 versus Weller Foolproof. I think that the Weller Foolproof is the winner, which is the one that I thought was going to win. And then we have Weller Antique 107, which I think is a banger of a bottle. Easily the most affordable and most easy to find in this lineup that I think you should be hunting for. No questions asked. Should we do number 1 or number 2? Let's go to number 1 and just find out who wins it. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This turned out crazy, to be quite honest with you, and this is why I love doing blinds. Weller 12 being in 3rd. The top 2 bottles when it comes to the secondary market being in last place. Do blinds, guys. If you're not doing blinds, you should do blinds. Check out Great Whiskey Challenge if you want to do your own. Drum roll, please. And the winner is C. Weller Foolproof is our winner tonight. I can show you that right there. I don't know how well the camera can zoom in on that with the glasses and everything, which means, guys, Weller Antique 107. Let me just double check. Yes, that is E. That's what we got here. A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E, F. Right. Got it. Just making sure here. That's going to be E. This was a lot of fun to do. Listen, I got to tell you, I'm kind of shocked. I'm kind of not. Weller Foolproof winning is definitely not a surprise to me. Weller Antique 107 beating these 2 bottles over here, not really a surprise to me as well. But Weller 12 coming in 3rd place, the SR coming in 4th place, and these 2 being in last place definitely shocked me a little bit. But I got to tell you, I had a lot of fun doing this blind. If you haven't done blinds before, make sure you're doing that. But if you like this kind of video, or you like this kind of content, click that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Check us out on Instagram at Bourbon of the Week. Go click that follow button over there. Check us out on Patreon and Discord. Both those links in the description below. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy. and stay buying Weller Full Proof at my maximum price, probably $150, but that's a little bit over MSRP. Cheers, y'all.